Hello again, everyone. I was right in the middle of making salsa, and it occurred to me that I've started using a different method. I had posted a video before of how I made salsa, and I've kind of changed it up now, and I thought I might share my newer method. It's a cold pack salsa opposed to cooking it. I'm already got things going. I've cored and sliced these tomatoes. I have not blanched them or peeled them or anything like that. And instead of doing blanching them and zapping them in the cooker, I just chop them in this chopper. And this is what it looks like. These blades are very, very sharp, and it's kind of a loud process. But I just lay the sliced tomatoes in this and then smack it. And wind up with some nicely cubed, chopped tomatoes. I use green tomatoes, tomatoes that are turning, ripe tomatoes. I think it's just an easier process than doing all the other. And my family tends to like the fresher, instead of cooking it, you raw pack it and then just process it. I hope you can hear me over this slapping. Anyway, this is how I'm kind of, so I'll show you, this winds up chopped like that. I've got my pan about half full already. So I'll finish chopping this and then come back to the rest of the stuff and show you how I do everything else. Okay, I'm back. I've got the tomatoes are all chopped up now. There's a nice batch. This is a pretty good sized pan. And you can see the green ones and red ones and everything. And then now I'm going to still use this handy chopper. I'm going to change this blade. Again, these blades are very, very sharp. This is a bigger blade. I'm going to switch, very easy, to this small blade. Just set it in here. And lock it into place. And there, it's all ready to go. Now I have onions. I've sliced them into rings, you can see. And I do the same with them. Just put them right here. You just wind up with a little smaller diced. So I'll do all the onions. The onions are easier to do than the tomatoes. Anyway, I'll finish chopping the onions and then come back and proceed. So now I'm ready to chop up. This happens to be from my garden this year. I've never had success at growing cilantro, but this year I've had an abundance of it. So I'm going to just coarsely chop this cilantro. We like cilantro in our salsa. I'll leave those. Now this is about a gallon of chopped tomatoes and 2 onions and a nice bunch of cilantro. Toss this in. And to that I'm going to add a whole, I've already, like I said, I was in the process of doing this, but this is a whole head of garlic. And you can do garlic or not. We love the garlic. I shared before, I forgot the garlic one time, and everybody noticed it. So we do like the garlic. This is a whole head of finely chopped garlic. So that's going to go in there. So we've got about a gallon of chopped tomatoes, 2 nice medium to large onions chopped, a nice bunch of cilantro, and a whole head of chopped garlic. Now I'm going to prepare some other things, and I'll be back to add the rest of the ingredients and let you know how this whole thing comes together. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to do a little more chopping. I have 3 jalapeno peppers here that I've halved and taken most of the seeds out, and 2 serrano chilies, which are much hotter than the jalapenos. I'm going to start with this and see what I wind up with. I'm going to quickly chop them, so bear with me with the noise here. I'm going to use the small chopper like I did for the onions, for the peppers, but there's not that many of these, so. And then I can adjust. Of course, I can't take out, if these are real hot, I'm going to wind up with hot salsa, but my family tends to like it hotter than I do. But anyway, so I'll go with that many peppers for right now. Dump those in. I can feel them in my throat as I chop them, so they seem to be warm. Then I'm going to add about a quarter of a cup of salt, and I'm going to add, now don't let this scare you off, a little bit of sugar. The sugar is not to make it sweet. The sugar, it's like maybe a tablespoon or so of sugar. And then I'm going to add about at least a half a cup of lime juice. Ordinarily I use fresh limes, but I didn't have any fresh limes right now. This was sort of a spur of the moment thing, as you can see. So we've added our salt, about a quarter of a cup, our peppers. And the beauty of it is when you make your own salsa, if you like it spicy, you can just load it with the peppers, make it as spicy as you want, or make it as mild as you want. Don't even put any hot peppers in it. So I'm going to stir this up really good, and we'll do a taste test, and I'll get back to you and let you know what the verdict is. But it's looking really nice. Look at that beautiful color and all those peppers and the juice, and oh, this is going to be good. Okay, everything is all ready to finish up here. This is our lovely salsa is all ready to put in the jars. The jars are very, very hot, which is important. Make sure those jars are nice and hot and sterilized. One of these funnels is very handy. All of you people that are canners and things, I'm sure you have a funnel. So we're going to fill these jars. Not sure how many we're going to get. I better take a little bit out of that one. Oh yeah, those jars are hot. So anyway, all of you fellow canners and preservers and things, we have a commonality here with, you probably have a garden. I do. I've always had a garden, mostly, and we traveled for a while and I did not have a garden, but I do have a garden again, and I absolutely love it, and it keeps me busy and outside, and I like just the whole growing thing, planting and growing. I got myself a little greenhouse last year, and I enjoy starting the seeds, and I really thoroughly enjoyed my little greenhouse. So anyway, I think that people that do preserving in cans and jams and jellies and salsas and a canned meat, chicken, we all have a lot in common. So I'm going to finish this up and show you the rest of the process. Okay, we're about ready to finish this whole process. I wanted to clarify, these have not been cooked. These are raw packed. I did not cook them. I know they're sitting here on the stove and it might have been misleading, but they are not cooked. The jars are all filled about a ½ inch from the top, right where the neck comes up here. And I've cleaned the tops of them off. I wound up with 8 pints and a quart that's going in the refrigerator. It just says it is. I'm not going to process it. So the other thing I wanted to let you know is I added 2 more jalapenos and 1 more serrano chili to the mixture. Now I'm putting, these lids are in boiling water. These are the seals. And if you don't have one of these guys, make sure to you add it to your canning repertoire. I didn't have one till a couple years ago. I don't know why, but anyway, it makes it nice to get that out of the hot water. Set this on here. Yes, 8 is a perfect batch for my canner, my water bath canner, because you can layer them, but I don't generally. So 8 pints is a nice batch, and then this gives us another quart to eat fresh. So these are raw packed. The lids, the tops have been all wiped off nicely. Gonna put the rings on. Now these you don't tighten down, you kind of just finger tighten. Like so. You just kind of have a feel for it. Just finger tight. Don't reef down on them or they won't seal. So I did mention that I added more peppers, 2 more jalapenos, and 1 more serrano, and I also added a little more lime juice. We've been sampling with chips, and this ring doesn't feel good. I'm going to use a different ring. That's much better. Thinking my water is just now starting to boil. Get this out here where I can put this on here properly. Now these are going to go into, the water's boiling now, a water bath canner for 15 minutes. Yes, the water's boiling. And if you can, I'm sure you have one of these guys, and you gently put these into this boiling water. And these 8 jars will fill it. It's always so satisfying to have stuff that you've done yourself, just like you like it. It's in the pantry. You have it all the time.
Excuse me.
It's satisfying to make these things for your family. When my kids were little, we always had, the pantry looked like a mosaic of fruit and vegetables. And then we had meat. We always had canned venison, and we raised our own pigs and chickens and eggs. And anyway, so this is all in here now. I'm going to put the lid on. It'll come back to a boil. Whoops, it's going to process for 15 minutes, and it will all be done. So I hope this recipe, you know, if you try it, you'll like it. The beauty is you can make it how you want it, hot or not hot, spicy, garlic, no garlic, not as many onions. But we love it, and I kind of prefer it over the hot pack now. Instead of cooking it and then cooking it again, this seems, it has a fresher feel and taste and everything too. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoyed my silly video, and have a great day.